Welcome back to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric Dickinson. Before I get started, if you could, please hop over to X, give me a quick follow. I am found at Eric Not Sorry, and I'm also found on Facebook, a little bit tamer, but I am on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. I'm also available on Rumble now, outside of Spotify, YouTube, and all the other good stuff. If you could, give me a like, share, and all that internet stuff. Before I get into the first story, I just want to do a quick update. If you watched my last episode, I started it off about talking about the Stead Farm located in Barkhamsted. Quick update, their links on their Facebook page do work. It's a me thing, not a them thing or their page thing. On my Facebook app, the links work just fine. It's on my Brave browser. It's probably, like I said, it's a me thing. It's a security thing. So their website is fine. Their Facebook is fine. So I'm looking forward to heading out there probably in a couple of weeks. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Okay, getting into the first story here. Delaney Hall riots. Delaney Hall. If you haven't been paying attention, some stuff has been kicking up in New Jersey. Now, this is not exactly this is regardless of where you stand on immigration enforcement, the Trump administration, and some people's opinions pushing too hard. Okay, look at Obama's numbers. Anyways, this is not a political thing. I'm just covering what is happening, because when violence erupts, your protest is no longer a protest. It's now a riot, and I'm sorry, I don't care what you're protesting. Your message lost all meaning, at least on me. So, violence erupts at the Delaney Hall ICE Immigration Detention Facility in Newark, New Jersey. The clashes began in late May 2026, triggered by a hunger strike and labor strike by detainees alleging poor and unsanitary conditions. They allege inedible food, worms, inadequate medical care, and infrastructure issues. DHS and ICE have denied the claims of inhumane treatment, stating detainees receive meals, medical care, and due process. Now, during the clashes, state police used riot gear, shields, tear gas, flashbangs, pepper spray and balls, and mounted units. See, I can't take this stuff seriously because I'm on the internet too much, and this just makes my head hurt. Okay, so protesters threw. Pause. Protesters don't throw stuff. Okay? Protesters don't throw anything. Protesters stand and chant and sing. That stuff yeah. Okay, rioters threw projectiles, used barriers as weapons, set fires such as to tires, so much for climate change and all about the planet, and breached restricted areas. Rioters involved in clashes with ICE agents, Newark Police, and New Jersey State Police. Officials imposed a nightly curfew, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m., in a half-mile radius and protected protest zones. Like I said, protesting is cool. I don't care whether I like your message or not. When you resort to violence, yeah. Arrests. Multiple arrests occurred over several nights for curfew violations, assaulting officers, resisting arrest, and weapons possessions. Key details. At least 6 were arrested for assaulting officers in one night, on a Wednesday specifically, for some reason, and more on other nights. Nine rioters arrested on Thursday in just one clash. One named incident, public record, Brendan John Greer, 26, of Madison, New Jersey, was charged with assaulting federal officers, kicking and biting. Such a peaceful protest. Such a peaceful. All right. 5 of the 6 arrested on Friday were not New Jersey residents. They were from out of state. Out of the 20 to 25, or up to 50, reported by some counts and advocacy groups for curfew violations on Sunday night alone, many of whom do not reside in New Jersey. That's right. there's people that apparently have nothing else better to do but to travel to a far-off state to cause shit and chaos. Some people reportedly are coming as far as Washington State. Yes, because they have nothing else better to do with their lives. Over dozens have been charged, including for weapons, gear possession during curfew enforcement. Some rioters have come from states such as New York, Pennsylvania, and Oregon, but there is no exact verified list as of this report. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka, I hope I said his name right, if not, I'm sorry, and others noted the arrests of armed individuals. Peaceful protest. Now, I know some people will say, well, they have a right to carry. Yes, they do. You do have a right. Obviously, laws within the locale, but if you have a right to carry a weapon, yes, you have a right to carry the weapon. However, if you are simply standing on the side of the road with your sign chanting, you've got no problem. When you're getting face-to-face with law enforcement, that's kind of when you being in possession of a weapon, kind of a problem. Yeah, don't instigate fights with guys with bigger guns and bigger bullet budgets. Just saying. All right, now, there have been widespread rumors regarding certain types of supplies that these rioters have, and some people saying this is not organic, because how do a bunch of these people have so much money for literally tens of thousands of dollars of equipment? So, some of the things that I found in my research, the protests via other groups I'm not going to name, they pulled their cash, asked for from mommy, donations from internet. Anyways, for riot gear, helmets, knee, wrist, shin, and arm guards, military-grade goggles, gas masks, other shields to counter pepper spray and police tactics. If you're just going to protest, why would you need all this? Again, peaceful protest my ass. Left behind supplies after dispersal included tens of thousands of dollars worth of food, riot protection equipment, and electronics. Many of the rioters wore black. It's a known strategy known as black bloc, because if there's 100 people dressed in black, who hit me? The guy in black. Which one? All of them. You can't charge all of them. It's a tactic. They brandished umbrellas as shields and as a weapon. They also used gas masks, helmets, had goggles, and other protective gear. Some arrived armed with the helmets, shields, and other gas masks. Governor Mike Sherrill and officials blamed out-of-state agitators and national extremist groups for the escalation. You think? How about having your law enforcement go full board to knock this shit? Oh, yeah, right. That'll never happen. All right, curfew and protest. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka lifted the overnight curfew effective Tuesday evening, June 2nd, after Monday night's protests remained peaceful with 0 arrests. He cited this as allowing full exercise of free speech and peaceful assembly. Protests continued outside the facility, with demonstrators gathering near police checkpoints about half a mile away. Monday was described as calm compared to prior violent nights. Some live reports indicate renewed activity as the curfew lift allows fuller access. New Jersey State Police had handed primary control back to Newark Police. Now, here is the latest. Newark Mayor Ross Baraka announced a lawsuit against the private operator GEO Group, calling for the immediate closure of Delaney Hall due to alleged health safety violations. Why would you shut it down over allegations? Wouldn't you want to investigate? Send in I don't know, what are those people called when you have a prospective house that you're going to buy? Oh, an inspector? You have one of those guys come in with a clipboard and his little pocket protector? What a schmuck. All right, New Jersey Attorney General also filed suit against GEO Group for denying full health department inspections. Oh, perhaps I should have continued reading. I look like a schmuck. All right. Hey, many of us were thinking the same shit. All right. So, yeah, hey, GEO Group, if you're and DHS and ICE, hey, I'm all for all of this, but if you guys are denying access, you can't let a couple of nerds in with clipboards to go take a look around? It's not helping your case. Yeah, the rioters aren't helping the case either. All right, family visitation resumed at the facility following earlier disruptions. Gee, I can't imagine why. The detainees' hunger and labor strike involving 203 to 300 people continues over claims of poor conditions, which again DHS and ICE continue to deny. Now look, regardless of how you feel, like I said, about how doesn't matter how you feel about deportations, all of that. You can complain and not riot and protest. It's okay to complain and protest and chant and all of that stuff. But getting violent, no. And some of the things that were being chanted, these people were literally chanting for law enforcement to kill themselves. There's video of it if you don't believe me. Look it up. It's right there for you to see. You just have to look it up for yourself. Or go to my X page at Eric Not Sorry because it's there. I've shared it. Yes, it doesn't help your cause. If you're like, I feel bad for these people. All right. Fair enough. I want these people to kill themselves. No. What? They've got families, bro. Yeah, stuff like that doesn't help your cause. It really doesn't. Stop that. But yeah, so it's a shit show in New Jersey. Yeah, what's up, New Jersey? How you doing? Hopefully things calm down there and cooler heads prevail and everybody gets to go where they need to go without getting kicked or bitten. You're biting people, bro? Anyways. All right, my next story comes with a warning. People sometimes ask me, hey, you seem quiet today. Yeah. It's because of stories like this following one. I spend a little bit too much time on the internet. This came across my eyeballs, and I had to cover this. So if you got some youngins around, you might want to pause, pick it up a little later. It's not overly graphic, but well, the title of this is Her Name Was Dominique Moody, and she was 6. So yeah, if you're in mixed company, you might want to pick this up a little later. Okay. All right, I'll give you a few seconds to pause before I continue on. All right, so this story is out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope you paused or continue. Welcome back. Hey, there we go. All right, so this, like I said, this story is out of Charlotte, North Carolina. In January of 2019, Dominique Moody and her younger sibling were placed with a relative, Tanya McKnight, her maternal aunt and later legal guardian. This occurred because their biological mother struggled with drug addiction, lacked stable housing, and faced other issues that made her unable to care for the children. In September of 2021, a Mecklenburg County court granted Tanya McKnight sole legal and physical custody of the children. Their biological mother had signed agreements transferring care. The father's identity is unknown in public records. Dominique lived in McKnight's home on Gwyn Hill Road in East Charlotte with other children. This is where things start to sound very, very familiar to Connecticut residents. Anyone out there remember Mimi Torres? I do. That's why I'm covering this story. On December 16th, 2025, 9 days before Christmas, Dominique was found unresponsive in the home. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. Charlotte Mecklenburg police had responded and a homicide investigation followed. Crime scene evidence and witness statements, including from other children, detailed the conditions. According to reports, after the adoption, Dominique endured approximately a year and a half of horrific abuse and neglect. At the time of her death, at the age of 6, she was severely malnourished, only about 3 feet tall and approximately 27 pounds. Medical findings included fractured ribs and a fractured toe in various healing stages, burn scars, ligature marks, open wounds on her knees, face, arms, and legs. Signs of prolonged exposure to urine and feces-soiled diapers. She was reportedly kept in a dog crate, sometimes in the living room, bound with duct tape, which caused swelling, struck with a belt, and punished for trying to steal food by being denied meals, despite food being available in the home. She slept on a feces-filled bathroom floor after breaking the crate. The home was described as an extremely unkept, infested with rats and cockroaches, containing human and animal feces, lacking central heat, often using an oven and space heaters in the winter, and having holes in the walls, floor, and roof. Other children in the home reportedly witnessed and described the abuse to the investigators. I will not violate terms of service. I will not violate terms of service. Three women were charged. Tanya McKnight, 51, the aunt and legal guardian. Taryn McKnight, 22, Tanya's daughter and Dominique's adopted sister and relative. Susan Robinson, 61, relative, sister of Tanya, also a legal guardian. They initially faced felony child abuse charges resulting in serious injury and multiple misdemeanor child abuse counts. These were later upgraded to first-degree murder charges with possible murder by torture elements. They have appeared in court. Some faced high bonds. Police and social services have been called to the home multiple times. At least 5 police visits during 2022. DSS reportedly received and closed multiple abuse neglect reports without substantiation. Really? Sounds familiar. Family members, including Dominique's mother's side, alleged they tried to intervene or gain custody, but they were blocked. This has led to the resignation of Mecklenburg County Child Welfare Head. Good. That's a start. Legislative investigations into CMPD, DSS, and related agencies. Fantastic. It's a shame we don't do that here in Connecticut. Eh, Mimi? The proposed Dominique Moody Safety Act by North Carolina lawmakers to improve child welfare responses, training, and escalation protocols. Like, how do you not notice any of that? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just one of those people that just always looks at people with skepticism, so I'm always leery of everyone. I don't know, man. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, boy, does he get around, joined the family in demanding accountability, stating system failed to protect her despite warnings. I agree with him. Yeah, he's right. A funeral highlighted family grief, with the mortician, a relative, describing the extent of her injuries as extraordinarily difficult to prepare. Whew. That is, now for anybody out there that does not know anything about the mortuary world, it is not unusual for a family member or a friend in that field to take care of someone that they know. My wife is actually in that field, and she has done that. It's not everybody does because, again, creepy or squeamy or, in the feelings, but also it's the flip of this is my last thing, my last, to you, you know? So it's the feels. God damn, dude. When I posted this story on X, one person, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but you commented, demons are real. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a religious person, but yeah, this. Dude, she was 6. She was 6. She was 27 pounds. What the fuck? Okay. Let's talk about something a little bit happier. Kind of. This can have a happy ending, and Connecticut, we need your help. Calling all dog lovers. Seriously, all dog lovers out there, Hartford Animal Control is currently facing a significant canine crisis due to a surge in owners surrendering and abandonments. Don't abandon your dogs, bro. Like, at least down on the street. I mean, that's just messed up. But the shelter, which houses City of Hartford impounded dogs, is nearly at capacity, with reports from late May 2026 indicating 18 of 22 kennels filled, and urgent calls for adoption to prevent further overcrowding. Key details on adoption, locations: all adoptable dogs from Hartford Animal Control are housed at the Simon Foundation, 120 Rescue Lane, Bloomfield, Connecticut. Adoption process by appointment only. By appointment only. Call them 860-757-4395 to schedule your appointment. Again, the adoption process is by appointment only. Call 860-757-4395 to schedule your appointment. Bring a $50 money order to, for Connecticut residents, or $5 out of, okay, that's really weird, a valid driver's license. I know it's $50, $50 adoption fee. Sorry for that confusion. A valid driver's license is required. Adopters receive a medical voucher for spay, neuter, and vaccines. Which, sidebar, pets are expensive. So you may have a whole big ball of love. You just want to... Pets are expensive. And dogs, especially puppies, they love to get into stuff. Dog-proof your house first. They like to eat stuff. You don't want to, intestinal blockage. Surgery is really expensive, and the other outcome is really bad. So before you dive on in, make sure you have the funds. And like I said, puppy-proof your house, okay? Okay. Best source for current dogs. Follow the official Hartford Animal Shelter Facebook page, found at facebook.com/Hartford Animal Shelter, for photos, bios, and updates. They regularly update available dogs. Currently highlighted adoptable dogs as of early June 2026. This is from adoptapet.com. And recent shelter posts. Several dogs are listed as need homes fast. Because I heard this news report last week, and there was something they said in that report. It was basically like, we're running out of rooms, and we're going to have to report to... you don't want that to happen, folks. Okay? If you got the room, you got the love, you got the money, you got food bowls and water, get yourself a dog. Get yourself a dog. So some of these dogs that are highlighted, we have Colette. She is a pit bull mixed terrier female, about a year and a month old, highlighted in recent posts. She is friendly, affectionate, food motivated. She's a dog, good with kids and male dogs, picky with females though, but she's great on a leash. She was dumped in a Hartford cemetery and has made big progress in the shelter. Oh, let's find her a happy home. There's also Ollie, a pit bull terrier, Chihuahua leopard dog mix. Wow, he's a male, about a year. And then there's Wendy, a pit bull terrier mix, female, about 9 years. Give her a nice senior home. And then there's Claudette, another pit bull terrier mix, about 3 years of age. Many dogs are strays with limited history, so they stay until their legal hold period ends. The shelter emphasizes they have no prior vaccine or behavior details beyond what staff has observed. Okay, so you got to be cautious here. Do your research, but there's some dogs out there, animal lovers. Nearby rescues like Protectors of Animals in East Hartford, Dog Star Rescue, Pack Leader Rescue, and Connecticut Humane Society in Newington also have adoptable dogs and often pull from local shelters. Check the Hartford Animal Shelter Facebook page or Adopt-A-Pet listings right before contacting them, as availability changes quickly. Yeah, because somebody sees their photo and falls in love and they adopt a puppy. Go get yourself a dog. Go change your life. Come on. Come on. Sticking with the animal stories. I know that one was kind of more like of a PSA, but it was a new story. Like I said, I heard it last week. Here's another quick animal story. And it was here in Connecticut in Rocky Hill. Shout out to the Rocky Hill Fire Department, because on Thursday, May 28th, 2026, around just a little after 5 o'clock, the Rocky Hill Fire Department responded to a report of an animal trapped in the sewer system near Main Street and Garden Street. When firefighters arrived, they determined it was a small black kitten stuck in about 50 feet into the sewer pipe. I had to make that noise. My classmates would know. Anyways, crews assessed the system from three different points. They worked together to gently encourage the kitten towards an exit and safely extracted it. The kitten was unharmed, transferred to the Rocky Hill Police Department, and then to an animal rescue organization. Listed here as the Old Wethersfield Stray Kitten Rescue for veterinary care and adoption preparation. So if you want a black cat, I want a black cat. I want a black cat. Mo the Chonk doesn't want me to get a black kitten. I'm just telling you. So if you want a black kitten, black cats are the best. My first love was the black cat. I'm telling you now. I'll tell you the story on another episode, not today. His name was Sparky. He was the shit. I had him for 18 years. Awesome. Black cats are the best. So awesome shout out to you, Rocky Hill Fire Department, doing the Lord's work. Not just kicking indoors and rescuing, throwing people over your shoulder. That's badass. You're helping a little kitten out. That's so awesome. Love that shit. All right. So thank you for watching this episode. If you liked it, give it a like, share, tell your friends, all that happy stuff. Follow me on YouTube and Rumble, but of course on the socials, I'm on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast and on X at Eric. No, sorry on the stubble there. I little brain farted. Time for another cup of coffee. Okay, so until next time.